Welcome back to the Board Business Channel. I'm so excited for today. We're going to be diving into a company that's doing some really cool things over in Taiwan. They're called City Media Holding Group.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of them. They're fascinating. They've got this amazing story
They do.
about constant reinvention, and they're really passionate about building up great leaders.
Exactly. And a big shout out to Steve,
Oh, yes.
the executive director of the Arizona Taiwan office. He's the one who actually told us about this company.
What a great recommendation.
Yeah, Steve's been on this mission to showcase some of the best businesses in Taiwan, and he really came through on this one.
He did. And it all comes down to their CEO, Feipeng Ho. He co-founded Business Weekly way back in 1987.
Oh, 1987. That's like before the internet even existed.
Yeah.
I mean, he must have seen so much change happen in the media world over the years.
Absolutely. But get this. Ho's really open about the fact that his early days as an entrepreneur were a little bit of a struggle. He even called his first 10 years running Business Weekly disastrous.
Wait, disastrous. This is the guy who, built this whole media empire.
Right.
How does that even happen? I mean, what went wrong?
Well, it's kind of like that classic thing where you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
You know what I mean? So Ho realized that just having good ideas isn't enough.
Yeah.
You need some serious management and leadership skills
Makes sense.
to actually make those ideas work.
Right. So you can't just be the ideas person. You have to be able to, get people on board
Yeah, you got to rally the troops.
and execute.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what's so cool about Ho. He didn't just give up. He actually turned this whole experience into a mission. He saw that a lot of people, especially mid-level managers, were missing practical training.
Oh, interesting.
They were good at their jobs,
Yeah.
but leading a team was a totally different thing.
I totally get that. It's like you're killing it in your own role, and
Yeah.
then suddenly you're in charge of other people.
Yeah.
Talk about pressure.
And Ho wanted to help.
Oh, that's awesome.
So he launched Manager Today magazine in 2004. And this wasn't like a boring business journal or anything. It was actually packed with super practical advice and real-world solutions for all these challenges that managers were facing every day.
Okay. Manager Today. I love that name.
Oh, yeah.
Straight to the point, just what you need when you're a busy manager. What kind of stuff did they cover in the magazine?
Well, think about it. Ho had just gone through this management boot camp himself, right?
It did. Yeah.
So guess what the first issue is about?
I don't know. What was it about?
Being a brand new manager.
Oh. So,
Figuring out how to lead a team for the first time.
learn from your mistakes.
Exactly.
And then share that with the world.
That's what made Manager Today so popular. It wasn't about some fancy theory. It was all about giving managers the tools they needed to actually be good leaders.
Okay, so that was just the start.
Oh, yeah.
City Media Holding Group is massive now. They're not just a magazine anymore.
Not even close. They basically evolved into this media powerhouse. Books, magazines, digital platforms, you name it, they've got it. They actually have over 40 publishing houses under their umbrella.
Well, okay, hold on. That's a lot.
Yeah.
But the media world has changed so much since 1987. How have they managed to keep up with everything?
Well, they haven't just kept up. They've been leading the way, especially in the digital world.
Okay, spill the tea. What are some of the things they've done that are really innovative?
Okay, so they have this platform called Management Knowledge Bank.
Oh, cool.
It's a ton of resources for leaders. And then they've got daily listening management. It's this AI-powered news summary service. It helps you stay on top of what's happening in your industry without getting totally overwhelmed.
Whoa, AI news summaries. That's so smart, especially for people who are busy and just need the key takeaways.
Exactly. And then there's their portfolio. Get this. Over 40 publishing houses, 70 monthly publications, more than 40 magazines.
I'm getting dizzy. How do they even organize all of that?
They break it down into all these different subgroups. Each one has a different focus. So there's the Computer Family Publishing Group, the Site Publishing Group, the Sharp Point Media Group. They cover everything. Tech, business, lifestyle, you name it.
Oh, wow. So it's not just a ton of random content.
Yeah.
They've got a really clear strategy. They know who they're trying to reach.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not just about quantity. They have some really interesting initiatives as well, like their 100 MVP Managers event.
MVP managers. Okay. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Okay, so every year they spotlight these outstanding employees from all different levels of different companies. It could be anyone. Regular employees, middle managers, CEOs, anyone who's going above and beyond in their work. It's all about celebrating people who are killing it, not just for their company, but for their community too.
Oh, I love that. It's not just about climbing the corporate ladder. It's about making a difference.
Exactly. It's like saying, hey, we see you and we appreciate all the hard work you're doing.
I love it.
Yeah. And it's not just a pat on the back, you know? It's this recognition that can really boost someone's career.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That must be so inspiring for everybody involved.
Oh, absolutely. There's actually this really great story about a factory manager in Kaohsiung. He won an MVP award, and he said it was a huge motivator for him. It really pushed him to keep doing his best. It shows how city media isn't just about profits. They're about building people up, too.
I love that. It's like they're walking the walk.
Yeah.
And that brings us back to Fei Peng Ho, right? I know he's got a blog where he shares his leadership advice. And
Oh, you've been doing your homework.
I have. It's a treasure trove of insights.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that he talks about, like the main leadership ideas that he shares?
Well, he really believes in this concept of finding your gemin. It's like your core strength.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of that. Interesting.
Yeah, it's all about understanding your unique talents and focusing on what you do best.
I'm okay. I like that. It's like saying, hey, you don't have to be good at everything. Just be amazing at the things you were born to do.
Exactly. And Ho thinks that everyone has a gemin. It's just a matter of finding it.
I love that. And once you find it, what then?
Well, Ho's all about continuous learning and growth. He really believes in pushing yourself to be better, to keep learning, and to grow as a leader.
Which makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Especially in the media world where things are always changing so fast, you can't just stand still.
You got to stay ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
And that's another key takeaway from city media, right? Being adaptable. They went from print media to killing it in the digital world.
I know, it's like they're masters of reinvention.
I know, right?
Okay, so they did all this while still staying true to their core values, sharing knowledge and developing great leaders. I mean, it's inspiring to see a company that's successful but also has a really strong purpose.
It's like they're proving that you can do well by doing good.
Exactly.
And it all goes back to Fei Peng Ho's vision and leadership. I mean, he really is an incredible leader. And, you know, it's interesting how city media actually puts these ideas into practice. Their 100 MVP Managers event is the perfect example of that. It's not just about the people at the top. It's about recognizing the unsung heroes at every level.
Yeah, like that factory manager we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Imagine how great that recognition must have felt for him.
I know.
And not just for him, but for his whole team, too.
It sends such a positive message. It's like city media is saying, we appreciate everyone's contribution, from the CEO all the way to the people working on the factory floor.
Right. And that reminds me of something else that Ho talks about a lot. Building strong relationships.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not just about giving orders. It's about creating a culture where everyone feels valued and supported and motivated.
Exactly. And speaking of motivation, one of the things that I love about Ho's leadership style is his emphasis on taking risks. Calculated risks, of course.
That's so important. It's easy to get stuck in your comfort zone and just play it safe. But sometimes you have to push yourself to do something that scares you.
You got to get out of that comfort.
If you really want to grow.
Exactly. And Ho definitely isn't afraid to make big moves, even if they seem a little bit risky at first. I mean, think about when he launched Manager Today magazine.
Oh, yeah. That was a huge leap of faith.
It totally was. But look at the impact it had.
It's true.
It's like he saw a need in the market and just went for it.
He did. Yeah.
It's a good reminder that big rewards can come from taking big risks.
Right. But it's not about being reckless or anything.
No.
It's about weighing the pros and cons.
It's about being strategic.
And making sure you've thought things through.
Exactly. But then you actually have to have the courage to take action.
It's like they say, fortune favors the bold.
Exactly. And Ho really embodies that idea. He's got vision and courage and strategic thinking, and that's why he's been so successful in such a fast-changing industry.
You know what else I find really inspiring about him? That story he told about Bill Campbell, Steve Jobs' coach.
Oh, yeah. I love that story.
The one where he never answered Steve's calls during his kids' football practices.
What a great example of setting boundaries.
It is. It's so easy to get caught up in work and feel like you're always on. But it's so important to prioritize the things that matter most.
You got to find that balance.
You have to.
Yeah.
Recharge your batteries. Spend time with loved ones.
You need that time to unplug.
Yeah, and Ho seems to have figured out how to do that. He's built this massive media empire, but he hasn't lost sight of what's important in life.
He seems like a very grounded guy.
Yeah, it's inspiring. And it all comes back to that idea of G-Man, finding your core strength.
Yeah.
And focusing on what you're really good at.
Exactly. Don't try to be good at everything. Just focus on the things you're passionate about and that you excel at.
Right, because Those are the things that are going to bring you the most joy
They are.
and help you make the biggest impact.
And once you've found your G-Men,
Yeah.
you have to keep learning and keep growing. Ho's a huge advocate for lifelong learning. He's always reading, attending conferences, trying to learn new things.
So it's like you find your superpower
Yeah.
and then you level it up.
You got to keep leveling up. And that's something that we can all do, whether we're running a company or leading a team or just trying to figure out our own career path.
Right. Everybody's got their own journey.
Everyone does.
Okay, so just to recap, what would you say are like the 3 biggest takeaways we've learned from Feipeng Ho and City Media Holding Group?
Okay, number 1, find your join-in. Figure out what you're good at, what you're passionate about, and focus on those things.
Love it. Number 2.
Embrace change. The world is constantly changing, so be adaptable, learn new things, and be willing to evolve.
And number 3.
Success isn't just about profits. It's
Yeah.
about making a difference in the world,
Okay, yeah.
leaving a positive impact.
City Media is a great example of that. They've got the business smarts, the innovative spirit, and a big heart.
They do. And a big thank you to Steve for connecting us with them.
Yes, thank you, Steve.
And thank you to everyone for listening to the Board Business Channel. We hope you enjoyed this episode.
We'll be back next week with another inspiring business story. But until then, keep learning, keep growing, and keep making a difference. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any future episodes.